Welcome to another edition of the KTTH Roundtable, as Bryan Suits and I discuss various issues around a literal round table. I will start today with Boeing, and I'm curious. No matter what happens, even if it's not Boeing's fault, let's say it's United's fault that now another door panel falls off, or a wheel comes off, or something cracks. The perception, if it's a Boeing plane, is that Boeing is responsible. And in a lot of ways, they did this to themselves based upon some of the whistleblower testimony that we've heard that basically says, yeah, they rushed to get products out regardless of whether or not they're quality. So they brought this on themselves. However, this is a town that actually needs Boeing to survive. Do you think they can?
I don't know. I got to say, they're doing a really bad job at brand management. And Boeing has to understand that most of the passengers don't understand how the airplane flies. So when the Chardonnay is too sweet, they're going to blame Renton. When the Rosé is too tannin, they're going to blame Everett. Because people don't understand that a door plug isn't going to make the plane crash. At 40,000 feet it will. I'm just saying that they are selling a brand, and the brand is not the airplane. The brand is that this is going to get you where you want to go, and you're going to have fun, and then fly home on one. That's not United's job. When the Boeing aircraft is the lead headline in the headline, you know, Boeing plane skids off runway. Yeah. It was a United pilot at the stick. I mean.
Well, I will say this: if you're an incompetent airline, let's do all your crazy stuff right now, because Boeing's going to get all the blame, and you're going to probably get none of it.
And also there are just, 20 years of trading technology for cheaper manufacturing in China has led to a China that can now make a 737 rival. The most flown commercial aircraft on the face of the earth. There's going to be a cheaper version out of China. I mean, I want Boeing to be the one that, they used to say, if it's not Boeing, I'm not going. Now people are avoiding, flights that are not Airbus. If it is a Boeing, they're not going on.
If it's not an Airbus, I'll make a fuss, because I'm not taking Boeing. What do you got?
I still believe in the product, and I know that the airplanes fly. And if it crashes, it's more likely the pilot's fault. Anyway. In Redmond, there's a new thing on the West Coast where they're forcing homeless housing and vagrants into higher-end bedroom neighborhoods. And Redmond, city of Redmond gave away a beautiful piece of property a couple of years ago, gave it to Plymouth Housing, which currently runs 2 hotels here in Seattle.
One or a few more, actually.
2 murders, a bunch of knife assaults. They had an employee killed in 2020. And I want to know, where does this happen? And luckily people in Redmond are pushing back. They tend to be immigrants who have come to this country with a dream, and they found it in Redmond, and they're not going to see it ruined and turned into Belltown, which good for them, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, this was the Kenmore housing project that the city finally said, no, we're not going to accept this. They got a whole lot of flack, and then you've got Mayor Angela Burney over in Redmond, whose daughter doesn't like Jews too much, deciding that she's going to say, oh, okay, Dale Constantine, I'll take your Plymouth housing project, because this is really being pushed by him.
And also, is the project going in your town, was it rejected by Kenmore? That's my bar. That's a crappy project. If Kenmore said, yeah, we're not good with that, land your seaplanes.
Anytime they tell you that this is permanent subsidized housing, that is a bad sign. That means you're getting the worst of the worst, chronically homeless, who do not have any real rules for entry. So if they're still addicted to drugs going in, they're going to be addicted to drugs while they're there, because they don't have to go into treatment.
And as part of the liberal game plan on the West Coast of the United States is to portray you and your bias against the homeless as somehow prejudice against drug use, because to them, they're not druggies that are without a home. Again, they're drug addicts because they're homeless. They're not homeless because they're drug addicts.
Unbelievable.
People in Redmond luckily know that they're homeless because they're drug addicts, and you don't get the keys to a new place and then go clean. So good for them in Redmond. And I'm really, really looking into Plymouth housing, because this really sounds like a scam.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the folks in Redmond, you're going to lose this battle. And so make sure that you're so angry that you keep that anger until the election. Because if you guys don't organize to boot these people from office, you can expect that this will happen again and again and again. Just like you can expect that the KTTH Roundtable will happen again a week from today.